you have to hang up the phone and think, I did well there. So you want to get some good information on the table, but make them want to come to the table for more. Don't give them all your information. Let them guess a little bit. Be a little mysterious. Be a little fun and playful. But if you take that half hour, Demon, you might get into your past relationship histories. Why you joined the agency. Because you've got the time to do it. If you're sitting on the phone, it's easy to do so. If you live in Connecticut and you live in Manhattan and it's an hour drive, you're going to talk longer than you would if you're across town. So still keep it brief, keep it short as best you can. But get in, build up some rapport, set the date, get off the phone.
The goal is to make the girl excited to go on the date. And if you could do that in 5 minutes, great. But if you're going to be a little nervous on the phone before and you're going to use the first couple minutes for small talk, you have to really spend like a little more time, I think, because she should hang up being like, wow, I really want to meet this guy. Not, oh, I have a date, I kind of don't want to go, I don't know. So you have to keep that excitement up.
If you want to tell them all about yourself, it's going to kind of bore a lady, or she might think we're a braggart, and it might tempt her not to keep the date or to push it for a better offer. I have to bury them because I'm an interrogator by a living, and so are you guys. We need to ask questions. We want to put it all on the table, flip it over, massage it, dissect it, and then decide what we want to do with it. We have to slow play it, especially just for the first date. The first date, we should walk away keeping some bullets in our gun and not making the women completely come clean with their whole background. And vice versa. We don't want to have to tell them all about our past relationship histories. You always want a woman to think that you're going this way, never this way, and never this way. And I've seen guys on dates say, I used to have a motor court full of cars and I had that big house, but I don't need that anymore. Now I'm simplifying my lifestyle and I feel so much better about myself. What does this tell a woman?
Yeah, he's going to be frugal.
He has been. If she got the big house and now you're in a condo, don't you think she wants to live in the big house too? So never, ever, ever share. If you gave the ex the big house and now you got an apartment in Tribeca, don't want to bring that up. It's a bad thing. You always want it to be equal and you want to be successful. So not talking about money really helps. Not talking about a big bonus or I lost money here, I'm thinking about investing there. It just never comes out the way I think we want it to come out. Never talk about politics. Doesn't matter. Just don't talk about politics. Women are more lackadaisical on politics than men are. Not always. But you're just inviting a fight. Never talk about health problems. As I see clients get older, they talk about health problems. And if you ever sit around, a condominium complex with 70-year-olds, all they talk about is, my knee hurts, I got to get this shoulder, what do you think of this, I got a lump over here. And even our parents, they're always talking about, as soon as you get on the phone with mom, dad, how you feeling? Oh, I'm a little achy, a little this, a little that. So you always want to say, wait, even if you just had knee surgery and you're walking fine, why share it? It doesn't help you. If it doesn't help, it hurts. Family issues in general, custody problems. You've got a bad aunt. You've got a brother that you're estranged from. You haven't talked to your father, your mother. It's so much laundry for anything before intimacy or 3 or 6 months. You should just always avoid that. The reason why this is so important, and this will come up, is because women want to know, are you wasting my time? How many dates do I need to put in before I find out what's your true agenda? Do you want something serious? Do you want something casual? Are you here to fool around? My time is valuable. What do all women 25 to 42 want? All women 25 to 42. Number 1, marriage. Number 2, children. And yes, I went up to 42. I sit down with 42-year-old women every day that want to have kids. They haven't yet, but they're going to. Women below 25, they're lackadaisical about it. So 25 to 42. So if they're closer to 42 or some even closer to 30, they think, how much time do I have to put in here to find out what his real intentions are? So I say on the first or second date, if it comes up in conversation, tell them what you're really looking for in a partner. And the answer is, I'm looking for a serious committed relationship. How about you? Simple, clean sweep. Tells them, diffuses them, then they move on. Okay, how about you? She says, I'm looking for the same. So all you had to say. Anything more than that, she loses. Is he really serious? Does he want that? The second most important question is, what happened in your last partnership? What happened in your last relationship? Every girl's going to ask you this. Antennas come back up. What you say can and will be used against you. So how do we answer this? What happened in your last relationship? It can only be 2 sentences long, short, precise, and it's got to paint her in the best light and you in the best light. I had a great relationship. It didn't work out because I wanted to relocate. She didn't. Simple. I had a great relationship. She didn't want kids. I did. If you didn't want kids and she did, you wouldn't want to mention that. I had a great relationship, but she got on Prozac, and I think that she's suffering from depression. Every day I hear that in conversation. Twice today, I ask the guys, what happened in your last relationship? She was, what's the favorite word?
Bipolar.
Bipolar. Stephen, what would you say if a girl said to you, so what happened in your last relationship?
She died 4 months ago, but we weren't still seeing each other, but it was a little up and down,
Okay.
off and on at the end. You can't, this story, you can't bring that up until like 10 years from now in your relationship, I think.
It depends. What did she pass from?
She committed suicide.
Okay, so you wouldn't say that.
So,
Because then she thinks,
and
was it
worse,
because you
I
didn't marry
still-
her? Right.
I mean, is it ever because, people commit suicide
Agreed.
because they're going to commit suicide.
Agreed.
Right.
So that's a real game-changing story. You can't get into that.
Agreed.
Yeah, and then he can be mistakenly taken for it was somehow his fault when
Agreed.
he's completely blameless.
Agreed. I might say I had a beautiful relationship for 5 years, but she passed. And that was, and then volunteer. And
What did she die from?
that's going to happen, but I think women are going to be a little more sensitive than that.
Okay.
So I had a beautiful relationship for 5 years. That says I'm a commitment-minded guy, and I lasted 5 years.
Right.
But she passed. Now I'm thinking, as a woman, was it yesterday, 10 years ago?
Right.
Is
So
she
you
over
volunteer.
her?
Is she over her? It ended a year. Well, she passed a year ago.
She passed a year ago.
Right.
That's fine.
So
Did you marry her? Were you married? You were with each other 5 years. How come you weren't married?
we didn't get to that stage.
Okay.
We didn't get to that stage. Yeah, you can't be argumentative, and you can't be secretive. So we just didn't get to
I
that stage.
assume that if a woman hears that she died, that she's gonna probably just like stop asking questions
Right.
about that.
Right.
She's going to think.
It's a sensitive
She's going to think
Oh, how come you didn't marry her?
an illness. Right.
It's sort of like the horse already left the
I think
barn.
that one of the most important things when the ex conversation comes up is to move off of it quickly so that the date doesn't take a negative
Switch
turn
gears,
and
yes.
the energy is down.
Excellent.
So yeah, I mean, no matter what they say, you can't just say anything. You don't want to bring that up. But if they can recover and they can get the rapport going again and just not stay on that topic, that's the
Right.
most important thing. It can't ruin the date. I mean, some women would be understanding of that
Right.
and would just be like, oh, and just would say, wow, I'm sorry to hear that. And
Right.
then that would be it.
We are the nation's most exclusive matchmaking agency for men seeking the extraordinary rather than the ordinary. We are the nation's only male-owned introduction agency, and we get it. The only thing more impressive than our female clients is our remarkable results. Join the thousands of gentlemen that have chosen us to add excitement to their love lives and view hundreds of our stunning women online right now. Call or email us to arrange a private consultation, and we'll discuss in detail exactly what you're looking for in the perfect partner, and then we'll make it happen. Our matchmaking agency is the ultimate search engine for the discriminating man, one stunning introduction after another.